Hello everybody, I'm Pragathi. I direct Translation, Neuroscience and Technology Lab at IIT Kanpur, and here is a short summary of one of our recent publications. This is on distinct neural activations correlate with maximization of reward magnitude versus frequency. Okay, let me explain. Say you're provided with two options, one that leads to very larger value payoff over time, another with a very small value payoff over time. What would you choose? Well, studies, lots of them have suggested that one would go for the option with a larger value payoff. Now, if I add more complexity to the situation, let's say the options have one more feature to it, which is the number of times you observe the gains over time at the local level. So let's say now the two options vary in the gain frequency. One has lot more number of gain outcomes through time when observed locally. Another one has a lot of lossy outcomes through time, though both of them has eventual payoff which is of the same magnitude. This kind of setup changes one's way or behavioral outcome, and there are studies which actually tested for this, and one popular paradigm called pseudo-gambling task, which actually tests for this, suggests that people actually prefer the option with high gain frequency, meaning they need to see a lot of gain outcomes locally through time, and even though this has an effect on the eventual value payoff that they may receive at the end of the day. Now let's put things together. There's one popular clinical utility called Iowa gambling task, which is used to test for or assess a person's ability to integrate outcomes over time and his or her ability to make advantageous decisions or ability to perform long-sighted reward or decision making in his or her life. This is of clinical utility, helping to assess behavior in lots of clinical population, including those suffering from impulsivity disorders or alcohol abuse, substance abuse, schizophrenia, to name a few. Now, interestingly, this study suffers from this confound of gain frequency, and lots of studies has pointed out that this popular paradigm may actually be looking at, or the behavior that's coming out of this paradigm may actually be assessing a person's local observation, meaning the local gain frequency based decision making, instead of the long sighted integrated decision making, which looks for the longer payoff value through time. So we tried to address these kind of shortfalls in our study, and this happened at Neural Engineering and Translation Lab at University of California, San Diego. And this was with healthy human participants with over 150 in number, and this was a EEG study, and we actually teased apart one's maximization of gain frequency versus value payoff in this study. And we actually observed that there are distinct neural correlates for these two different kinds of behavior. And with the gain frequency maximization involving those that are frontal executive areas, meaning reward processing areas like the lateral orbitofrontal cortex and the pars opercularis area. Whereas when one has to do integration over time and perform long-sighted decision making, that seemed to involve memory processing areas like the entorhinal cortices as well as the parahippocampal area. And these results also vary with a person's age factor, as well as whether the participant is suffering from symptoms of inattention and depression, thereby adding to the clinical utility. You can find more about the paper from the link that we would be sharing, and thank you.